Hello, my name is Dr. Lee, and I'm going to be teaching this course this semester. This is Biology 103A, Human Anatomy and Physiology. This is the spring 2001 semester, and for starters, I wanted to take you through the syllabus, which is available for you to download on Canvas, and tell you a little bit about the course and what is to be expected of you this semester. So for starters, this is a 4-unit class. This class is going to be taught asynchronously online via Canvas. So if you need to contact me, you can either contact me through the Canvas email or you can email me directly at my email address here. As far as contacting me via email, or if you want to actually set up an appointment for office hours or just to chat, the easiest way is to email me to set it up, but I am going to make myself available on Mondays 8 to 9 a.m. So you can contact me then also, or like I said, you can just shoot me an email and we can set up a separate appointment if you have specific questions. So this first page of the syllabus really just talks about the course, and I encourage you to read all of this when you have more time. I'm not going to read every line here with you, but it just tells you a little bit about what we're going to be covering this semester and some of the topics. So as I said, due to the pandemic, this course will be strictly online during this semester, and so you're going to need access to a computer with good internet access, and also you will need a scanner so you can scan assignments and upload them to the Canvas website. So as far as the course goes, here's the schedule description. Student learning outcomes are here, so you can read through those. And what's important here are the course requirements and the way you're going to be graded. So prerequisites, you can see here, basic biology and chemistry. Attendance, since this is not an in-person class, there is no real attendance, but you're expected to watch all of the assigned lectures and laboratory videos, and any assigned readings you're expected to do. So it's best in this course to stay on track and not let yourself get behind, because there is a lot of information we're going to be covering this semester. So the materials you're going to need for this course include a laboratory manual, which should be available via the bookstore unless you want to get it elsewhere. And then you're going to need access to a scanner, as I was alluding to. So the assignments that you're going to turn in this class, you're expected to complete them, scan them, and then upload them in a PDF format to Canvas. So if you don't have a scanner, which is pretty common, there are some free apps that you can use to scan documents. The one I would recommend is called Cam Scanner. It's a free one you can put on your smartphone or tablet. And I'm also going to put a document on Canvas that tells you a little bit about it. So that's an easy way to do it. That way when you do your assignments, you can just scan them with your phone or tablet and then upload them to, save them as a PDF and then upload them to Canvas. If you don't have an anatomy textbook, and this is in addition to the lab book, this is the one that I'm going to recommend. It's Human Anatomy and Physiology by Merriam. But again, this is just a recommended text. If you have a previous edition, that's fine if you can get that cheaper. Or if you have a different anatomy and physiology textbook from a different author or publisher, that's completely fine. Just keep in mind the topics I'm going to be covering in this class are mainly coming out of this text, but pretty much any anatomy and physiology textbook should be really similar. So your grade's going to be based on how many points you get out of the possible points, and then I calculate a percentage, so it's the basic 10-point grading scale that you can see here. So dropping is your responsibility. Just make sure you pay attention to all the important dates. I did put those dates later in the syllabus also. So the big thing that you need to know right now is how you're going to be evaluated. So we're going to have lecture exams and lab exams. So the lecture exams are going to be based on the lecture material that we cover in class. You're going to have 5 throughout the semester, and they're going to be all taken on Canvas and timed, and the format will be a mixed format, including multiple choice, true, false, matching, some fill-in, and then you're definitely going to have some subjective questions, some short answer, and at least one essay question per exam. It's in your best interest not to miss any exams. So if you do have a justifiable reason, like an emergency that comes up, and it's valid, I may let you do a makeup, but any makeups are going to be given during the last week of class or during the final exam period, which is not a great idea because you're going to have another exam that week anyway, so you don't want to be studying for 2 exams. So it's in your best interest to take all of the regularly scheduled exams. As far as the other ways you'll be evaluated, we will have 5 lab exams also. These will also be done via Canvas, and they'll consist of things like identifying, for instance, muscles or bones or things within a cell. So a lot of pictures and identification during the lab exams. And then we're also going to have the lab exercises that you're going to turn in on a regular basis throughout your lab books. And so that's why it's important to get that lab book and get the right version or edition of the lab book. And then we'll have some other activities also, including a tissue drawing assignment that I'll talk a little bit about. That's worth another 100 points. That'll be during the first few weeks of the semester. We'll also have short answer questions that you'll be turning in, at least one set of questions for each unit that we cover in this exam, during each unit that we cover this semester. So for instance, for exam 1, you'll have a set of short answer questions that you need to turn in by a certain date. You will also have a set of essay questions that you'll need to turn in by that date. So these will all the due dates will be posted on Canvas. And this goes into your final grade also. It's to your benefit to turn all of these things in on time. And a few other things, academic integrity. So for exams in this course, the way I'm going to try to prevent you from cheating, for lack of a better word, would be to have the exams timed. So so you won't have time to really look everything up during an exam. So it's to your benefit to really study like it's going to be an in-class exam. So this is a science course, obviously, and just like any other science course, it's relatively time-consuming. So consider that before indulging in the semester with this course. It's a very time-intensive course. I would highly recommend studying the material for this course every day if you can, for at least an hour or so, because it's going to accumulate quick. This is not the type of class where you can study a few days before the exam and do okay. So you have to keep up with this because the volume of material in this course is really, really high. All right, so support services, I listed several here on the syllabus. So if those pertain to you. And then just for our purposes, the lectures and lab videos that I post on Canvas are for your use. So you should not distribute them or post them anywhere else because that'll violate any copyright laws. So as far as the schedule in this course, as you can see, this is an asynchronous course. I did set it up on a Tuesday-Thursday schedule just because that's how it's classically been taught. So the due dates are going to revolve around a Tuesday-Thursday, but you have every ability to work ahead if you would want, as long as you meet the due dates. So pay attention to the due dates. Just make sure you get things done before then. So we're going to start this week, or the first week of class, with a basic introductory lecture, and then in the lab also. We'll move into just a review of biochemistry, and we'll move into studying cells, and then we're off and running. And you can see the first exam is scheduled on February 16th. And the way exams are going to work in here, we're going to have a lecture exam and a lab exam on the same day. And I think that's how students generally have preferred it in the past because there's a lot of overlap between the material. So it helps to study for both at the same time. So, and you can see the different topics as we go through the semester, the exam dates, and as we make our way through the semester, and then the last exam, exam 5, is going to be on May 18th. So the other thing though to note on this schedule is the chapter numbers. If you're interested, if you have the textbook that was I noted in the syllabus, for the lecture, that's going to be based out of that book. And then for the labs, you're going to see a different chapter, and that's out of the lab book. And so we're not going to do every lab in that lab book. That lab book should be valid for next semester also when you take 103B. So we're going to do about half of those labs, and they're all numbered in here. And then when we look further in the syllabus, you see some important dates here. Last day to add, last day to drop, anything else that might pertain to you. And then this is just a worksheet that helps you keep track of your grade. So you can see the possible points, you can put in what you got, and then you can always keep track of what your grade is. Your grades will be on Canvas, but I think it's best just to kind of keep track of your own also. And just FYI, the cumulative grade that you see in Canvas is not necessarily right. So when I do grades at the end of the semester, it's going to be based solely on this. So this gives you a better idea of what your grade is at any point in time. So you got the lecture exams, the lab exams, with the essays that you would turn in throughout the semester, the short answer questions that you would turn in throughout the semester, the daily lab exercises that you're going to turn in on a regular basis. Generally, at least twice a week, you're going to be turning in a lab exercise out of your book. There'll be a tissue drawing assignment, which will come up relatively quick the first few weeks of class, and I'll have a separate document on Canvas that tells you about it. And then I've broken down the total points that you need to get a certain grade in this course. And then this last page on the syllabus is just an agreement that basically says it tells me a little bit about yourself, and then also it makes you think about if you have other commitments, because again, this is a time-consuming course, and if you can sign this, scan it, upload it, this is going to be actually your first assignment in this course, and it's an easy 5 points to get. So I just want you to print out this last sheet, scan it, and upload it to the appropriate site on Canvas. And you'll see, once you log into Canvas, you'll see where that is. And if you have any specific questions about the syllabus that I did not cover, feel free to shoot me an email, and I can try to clarify anything that wasn't clear. But this gives you an idea of the topics we're covering and the requirements for this course.